Hey everyone, I know it's been the longest time since they've done a review. Couple things to get out of the way. If you're wondering, I am using my older camera, and I'm sure you know, during my Let's Play of Senran Kagura Deep Crimson, I kinda show what's been going on, and since that video, it's kinda just gotten worse, for the camera at least. I did test it out, and it seems that the video is just going to be intact as long as fine. It's not the SD card, it's more the camera itself, so I don't really know if I need to replace it or if someone can fix it, but I don't think that this... I mean, as I said, all the functions still work. It's just the screen's kind of the problem. It's just the camera itself, but it still works, and the SD card is intact. Now, you're probably wondering if this is going to be similar to the cutie map, and yeah, I am using my DVD format because of there aren't any videos where I can. But last semester I ordered the remote for my DVD player, so we can at least like fast forward through a couple of stuff, and hopefully we get to stay on track this time. So let's just test out to see how things go, and then if I decide if like the camera is worth keeping around, but let's just see how long the video is going to be, and let's see if I have to get this entire new model camera. But that's not what you're here for. Let's dig into the Lost Treasure of Griffonstone. So this episode starts out at Sugar Cube Corner where Pinkie Pie is doing her usual cake business. If that thing was in real life, I'm sure everybody would want to eat that. But it seems that during her baking, Pinkie Pie gets a mysterious call from her cutie Mark. And leaves Gummy behind to do the mess. And after the intro, we find out that Pinkie Pie wasn't the only one summoned for the cutie map. Oh, yeah, right, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I think this is actually one of the first episodes that kind of addresses the cutie map again, and which it's probably been a long time since like the first episode. But it seems...
This is so exciting. The map is summoning you to Griffonstone, the very heart of the Griffin Kingdom.
So yes, so it seems that the map is calling specifically Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash to go to a place called Griffonstone. And obviously, judging by the name, we're going to meet some Griffins. Also, another positive that everybody points out, hooray for world building!
Either of you have read Bygone Griffins of Greatness. Griffins were known to be rude, insensitive bullies. You mean Gilda? Yeah, I mean Gilda. When she came to Ponyville, she was a total jerk to all my friends, especially Pinkie Pie. She was a bit of a party pooper.
And she also screamed in Fluttershy's face.
Well, maybe Gilda was a little rude. You still get to go to Griffonstone, and according to this book, it has a rich, fascinating history. In ancient times, griffins were known to be as greedy as dragons, always hoarding their bits and other treasures. But all that changed when King Grover found the mysterious golden idol of Boreas. Legend says the idol of Boreas was made from the dust of golden sunsets, blown across the mountains by the north winds. Possessing the idol of Boreas filled the griffins' hearts with pride. It's said that one great treasure is responsible for turning Griffonstone into the most majestic kingdom of all the land. And why do you care so much about griffins anyway?
I was just going to ask, considering, well, first of all, that is a very interesting, nice touch of basically giving us an idea of Griffin lore. So there's another plus for this episode, just giving us an idea of opening more expansions, not only to the world, but giving us more lore about the Griffins. So now we have to know into the detail of why Twilight is so fascinated with Griffins, even though it's Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie who were called to the map.
It was actually Gilda's visit that made me curious, so I picked out Bygone Griffins of Greatness.
of makes me wonder how long she's had that book. Because if that whole situation happened in Season 1, that just means God knows how long she's had that book.
And now you two get to see Griffonstone with your very own eyes. Huh? Just me and Rainbow Dash? Hey, you can totally take my place if you want. I still had half a nap to finish.
Hey, that's how I feel when my phone or somebody texts me that wakes me up when I'm trying to nap.
Just come with us. I mean, you are the Princess of Friendship. No. If the map wanted me to go to the coolest kingdom in all of Equestria and tour the palace and see the actual idol that unites an entire species, which would be super amazing, I'm sure it would have said so.
So, I think this kind of gets into the idea that the map sort of is kind of selective, that the map chooses these specific ponies to go to this objective, and I don't really know what happens if somebody that the map didn't call goes there. That I don't think has an address. I don't think the show has addressed that yet, and if you're wondering, yes, I have seen the first 3 episodes of Season 8, and I don't think that that's going to be addressed anytime soon. I don't really know if there's any consequences if the pony who wasn't called by the map goes along the journey. I don't think there really is any kind of consequence. And also, a bit of their jealousy, don't you think?
You two can handle whatever the issue is just fine. I'll stay here and do important princessy things, I guess. Well then, come on, Daddy! We're going to Griffonstone! Fine.
And so we go through a montage of a long traveling journey. We also get another meme of Rainbow Dash acting like Twilight, and they finally arrive at Griffonstone,
and don't forget to sample some famous Griffin scones. They're supposed to be the best.
Oh yeah, Twilight also made them a list to do stuff.
Twilight should have come along. Then she could see firsthand that Griffonstone is
kind of a dump.
Dump.
Hey, this is what I said. So yeah, so everything that Twilight said is not exactly what it seems to be.
Excuse me, sir? This is Griffonstone, right? That wasn't very nice. See, these griffins are exactly what I thought they'd be.
Yeah, so you already might have picked up on the fact just by that one scene that the Griffins are kind of dicks.
Maybe we should just find the palace so we can ask the king what's going on. We don't have a king.
And guess who's back?
Hello, Gilda. Dash.
Donkey! So yes, Gilda is back, and I think this is a perfect time to address something. You probably remember my review of Griffin the Brush-Off, and let's just say I was kind of on the fence about it. After rewatching the episode a couple times after my initial review, Gilda sort of grew on me, and obviously Gilda's return brought some positivity, but for the most part there was a lot of backlash of bringing Gilda back, but I was sort of in the middle of it, because the thing is that people have kind of been asking for Season 1 characters to kind of come back, because we never really knew what happened to Gilda after Griffin the Brush-Off. So, compared to my initial reaction to Gilda 5 years ago to now, I'm sort of like, alright, Gilda's back. Like, I really don't care. There's some people who are just salty about how people in the fandom complain they want Gilda to return, but I'm just like, alright, whatever. So, let's see how this turns out.
What are you doing here? I'm a griffin? What's your excuse?
I think the correct response would be, I live here.
Hey, these dweebs are here to help Griffonstone. Help it what? Well, we're not really sure, but it involves maps, cutie marks, and problems, and bored now.
Yes, and I've also been told that since my initial review of it, apparently I've also found out that Gilda's voice actress was also Revy from Black Lagoon. So I'd like to thank the Voice of Reason for pointing that out after I reviewed Griffin's Brush Off. Anyway, let's keep going.
Well, if you don't have a king, can you at least tell us where the idol of Boreas is? Don't tell me you really believe in that thing.
Better believe it.
And he has been watching you this whole time.
The idol was the best thing to ever happen to us, Griffin.
Oh, great. Now you got Grandpa Gruff started.
So yes, this is Grandpa Gruff, who I'm assuming is the current leader of the Griffins, I'm assuming.
The whole tragic tale.
And you also may have noticed that this episode also points out that it wasn't just Gilda who's kind of jerks. Basically, the entire species of Griffins are kind of jerks because not only do they not listen, but they also want to get information out of money, so that kind of makes them also greedy. So it's not really Gilda's fault for her behavior in Griffin the Brush Off. That's just sort of how she is, like majority of the Griffins that we see in this episode are.
The first Griffin King, King Grover, united our kinds like we've never been united before or since. And he did it all with that incredible idol of Boreas.
Okay, I gotta admit, the part where Gilda is imitating Grandpa Gruff, that's pretty funny.
And that idol brought pride to the heart of every Griffin that saw it. From one king to the next, Griffonstone and our golden idol were the envy of all other species.
So yeah, basically the idol was sort of their, like, prized possession, but one day a monster attacked the Griffins and tried to take the idol away, but the idol ended up getting stolen. The Griffins did try to fight off the monster, but it ultimately fell into a ravine, or like a mountainside, and they couldn't go after it. Why exactly, we're gonna find out later, but ever since then, the Griffin Empire kind of went onto a downward spiral to basically what's been happening, where the place is a dump, and the Griffins are greedy dicks.
Ever after. See ya!
That was the saddest story ever.
Oh, well, stop paying feathers! No refund!
No wonder Twilight's book ended with the coronation of King Kudo. Who would want to record a history that sad?
It kind of makes you wonder if there was anyone who even bothered to record that history. Maybe somebody did actually record that history, but probably some ponies are probably like, screw you, we need to make sure this place is awesome.
Not sad! Do we look sad to you?
Angry is more like it.
Pinkie, I think I know why the map sent us here. We need to find the idol of Boreas and bring Gloria's bride back to Griffonstone. Haha, here we go. Typical pony hero complex. None of us care about that dumb old idol. Don't you get it? We don't care about anything. And that's the way we like it.
It's the 50s are the ponies who managed to save their asses for about, let's see, I don't want to say like 4 1/4 seasons, because I'm pretty sure that when Tyrk took over, something tells me that he went to Griffonstone and probably took the Griffin's ability to flight during Twilight's Kingdom, I'm assuming.
I think Rainbow Dash is right. The map sent us here if there was some sort of problem. The only problem Griffonstone has is you! Well, I don't care what she says. We're gonna find that treasure, make Griffonstone cool again, and get back to Pony. Come on! Hey, Rainbow Dash, what about Twilight's advice?
You mean the advice that you heard magically through your head, or in the letters that she sent?
Taking a bunch of pictures
So, yeah. So basically, Rainbow Dash has to go around to get information, and obviously she has to pay for it. Not, like, figuratively, like, actually pay for it. And we also find out that Pinkie Pie meets up with Gilda, as apparently she makes a living.
Helpful answer. Word on what street? Okay, maybe not this street, but on other streets. Your library is the talk of the town. The library's right there, so why don't you go inside and leave me alone?
And we see that the library is...
Maybe it's good that Twilight didn't come. It's sad what happened to your town, King. But Rainbow Dash can't be right. This can't all be because of a missing hunk of gold. You're right, Pinkie. And you've got amazing hair.
And I'm sure that if she kept that up, the beak would probably break off and the town would probably get into a riot.
King Grover, you won't charm her.
Oh, no riot. So like I said before, this episode also does a good job showing that, as I mentioned before, it's not really Gilda's fault of her behavior, because we do see interactions with the Griffins that obviously they're angry and greedy towards each other.
I know what Griffonstone needs. Fewer ponies. Mom! I've got a super song about smiling that's sure to make even the most grumpy Griffin grin. Can't sing here.
Wow, I never thought that there would actually be a town that actually bans singing. And then again, it's not really as, like, out there as a town that bans dancing.
But how do you break into uplifting musical numbers with no singing? Yeah, that's Griffonstone's biggest problem. Lack of uplifting musical numbers. Well, if I can't sing, how about a party? If there's one thing these Griffins need, it's some good cheer. Where's your party store? No party store? How about cake? Nothing cheers folks up like cake. Where's the bakery? No singing, no party store, no bakery! What is this place? You're welcome to leave at any time! Just taste the cake. Wait, no, you can't taste the cake because there is no cake. Or muffins, or Griffin scones. Oh, we got Griffin scones. That's my specialty.
So yes, that definitely was I forgot, because I kind of forgot the name. But yes, Gilda is actually one of the people responsible to make a living to make Griffonstones. But even looking at them before figuring out what they are, you can tell that they're not really the tastiest looking treat. And obviously you have to pay for it. And judging by Pinkie's reaction when she tries one, she sort of describes it as, how do I want to describe it? It's sort of like eating into a rice cake that is smushed in between a cinder block.
Well, whatever. No refunds. I don't even care anyway. I just want to sell enough of these so I can leave this lousy town. I can help you with that.
And I think, take that back, it's actually a rice cake in between a rock and a cinder block. So meanwhile, Rainbow Dash tries to get the idol and asks for...
No. Oh, baking powder. Lucky for you, I never leave home without it. Now just pop those together and you'll have Griffonstones worth their weight in gold. Greta! Talking about? You just helped your friend up when she got knocked down. What? Her? Greta's just some Griffin I know. We don't have friends here. I did have a friend once. But you saw how that turned out. Oh my god! I gotta go find Rainbow Dash! See ya.
Yeah, so basically we learn there is kind of more layers to Gilda, but obviously, much like Revy, she doesn't want to admit it. And speaking of Rainbow Dash, what I was going to say, because it's like anyways, Rainbow Dash does go try to go after the idol, and obviously she has to pay bits to go for the rope. But unfortunately, she gets caught. But the rope ends up breaking, and she ends up injuring her leg and calls for help. And the Griffin asks for bits, and she leaves her.
Wait!
Can I just be the only one to say that even though that's part of the Griffin's personality, you are literally going to leave a pony stranded in the middle of your chasm, which by the way has incredibly strong wind forces, leaves her there to die over some bits. Again, I know it's their personality, but come on! Ugh. So obviously, Rainbow Dash tries to fix herself, but she gets Pinkie to ask for help. And it seems that the Griffonstones are going pretty well for Gilda.
Rainbow Dash is stuck on a ledge in the abysmal abyss, and I need your help to save her. Not my problem. Of course it's your problem. She's your friend. Used to be. Can't you remember when she was? Yeah.
And we get, obviously, the most famous part of the episode is we get into Gilda's backstory from a time where she sees that she and Dash were really friends.
Of course.
As we see from the flashback, it seems that Gilda actually started out shy, being sort of the outcast, that she was completely different from all the other ponies, and she honestly generally felt like an outcast.
Doesn't that Griffin know that she's supposed to fly at the Junior Speedsters flight camp?
Maybe she just doesn't want to make you look bad.
I was gonna say, if those were the same ponies from the Sonic Rainbow, they're still dicks as kids.
Hey there, I'm Rainbow Dash, and you are, Gilda?
And the voice that gave so many bronies heart attacks. That's from cuteness.
You sure about that? Stick with me, Gilda, and those guys won't give you any more guts.
It basically goes to show that because Gilda felt like an outcast and was shy, Rainbow Dash was the first person to actually accept her, and that's why she considered Rainbow Dash a friend. And we do see that she became more of an excellent flyer as she grew older, which goes back to the present as we see that Gilda actually does end up care about Rainbow Dash, which results of going with Pinkie Pie to go back and rescue her. Now this is definitely a lot of intense adventure going on, because obviously Lauren Faust wanted more like adventure-based episodes, so it's nice that we're having a little bit more of an adventure aspect for this season, so that is definitely something I like. So as Gilda tries to hang on, she does actually find the treasure, but you already know what's going to happen. She chooses her friends and lets the idol fall deeper into the abyss, and basically tells them that some silly old idol is not worth it with friendship.
I'm really sorry about how I treated you two. Thanks, Gilda. Apology accepted. And I'm just sorry we didn't get your idol back. Now be able to solve Griffonstone's problem. That's what I was trying to tell you. The map didn't send us here to find the lost idol of Boreas. It sent us here to replace it with something better. Nothing's better than gold to a griffin. That's because you don't have friendship. If you can learn to care about each other again, Griffonstone could be a mightier kingdom than it ever was before. And you don't need some golden idol to do that. You just need each other. Whoa, Pinkie, that was really sappy. What can I say? That's how I roll. Go on, Gilda. Go make a friend.
And Gilda goes over and makes her friend, and it also gives us an indication that, and we also find out that Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie complete their objective is when their cutie marks flash to let them know. I think it's like inward, yeah, because they get called on the map that it goes out outward, but when they complete it, it's inward.
Oh, we better be heading home. What? You want me to spread friendship here by myself? How am I supposed to do that? I haven't even made one single friend yet. No, you haven't. You've made two. Honey, no. But you'll come back and visit, right? Just try and stop us.
Let's see, 3 seasons later, and they haven't done that yet. So they say goodbye to Gilda, and they head back. As we see that Gilda has made her first friend.
See you later, you old charmer. Pinkie? Who are you talking to? Nobody? Come on, let's go home and see how Gummy did with Grandpa's margarine recipe.
Something tells me that Gummy burnt it down. And that was the Lost Treasure of Griffonstone. And do I really need to say what else it hasn't been said about this episode? Oh, he did nothing. I think the first thing that obviously everybody enjoys about this episode, including myself, is the world building. I can't deny how they really went into depth with Griffonstone and how expansive it got. Also, it is nice to have a great callback after bringing Gilda back. And on top of that, it definitely is nice to actually get a backstory to see how Gilda was like when she first met Rainbow Dash. On top of that, it is nice that we get an episode that's more adventure-oriented. And I don't think that we had that type of episode in the longest time that is in the season finale. And of course, the humor is definitely spot on. And I also like the fact that the episode also pokes fun at itself in terms of the show itself. And obviously, the lore, character development, everything about that is definitely good. I don't really think there really isn't anything to say negatively. My only nitpick would obviously be that the Griffin leaving Rainbow Dash for dead because of some bits. Even though it's in their nature, but it kind of gives more opportunity to see what we can be expanded upon the Griffins. So, as a whole, I think the Lost Treasure of Griffonstone honestly gets an A. Because I really don't know what else to say about this episode. All I can say that it's a really good episode, and I hope to just learn more about it. So yes, the Lost Treasure of Griffonstone it's an A. Alright? I'm Flipcam Gamer, and next time we are going to be looking at MLP's 100th episode, Slice of Life, and I am looking forward to it.